I still remember vividly. I called my father before my first shidduch date. I said, Dad, what should I talk about? Ultimately, after I make that awkward couple minutes of conversation with her parents, and then I meet the girl, and then we're going to go sit down, and we're going to schmooze, what should I talk about? And I know that I've been coached to make my conversations about fish. I'll talk about family, Israel, seminary, and whatever H stands for I can never remember. But what should I talk about? And my father has this very keen way of being able to give that, fatherly advice, the real type of father that can say, eye on the ball, all those good types of real dadisms. And this one really stuck with me. He said, son, every single person likes to talk about their own stories, male or female, and they love to tell their stories. So as long as you ask questions and listen intently and provoke someone else that you're with to tell their stories, they'll leave saying that they had a great time, the other person enjoyed listening, and it would be a great date. And he was very, very right, Baruch Hashem. And this idea stuck with me for a long time. Ask people questions and listen to their stories, and ultimately, people will enjoy your company. But that can only go but so far. Maybe you're like me, and I'm saying this in jest, that if you've already heard the story, it's hard to continue listening. Maybe you have a grandfather or a father who has said the same stories but a few times. When they say those words, Sonny, did I ever tell you that time that I first went to college? And you say, yeah, everyone sighs. I've heard the story a million times. It can be hard to listen to the same story over and over, yet the telling of the story is very fun. So tonight, when we're going to have the Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim on this very, very holy night, it can be kind of a tough task. Maybe you're like me, that you can get halfway through Magid before the hype kind of fizzles out. You're a little bit in the middle and you no longer enjoy Magid because you've heard the story before. I'm here to tell you that based on what I have been taught, that you have never heard this story before. It is one of the ultimate Achilles heels in our climb, our ascendance to the maximum potential that we have, our greatness. We still understand when we hit the story of Magid, we understand the Haggadah, just like how we first heard the story, maybe in second or third grade, how water split, Paro had makeup in his eyes. But as you grow up and as you learn the Haggadah and as you learn the story, you realize there's so much more here. Did you know that the Sfas Emes says that when we went through the water, B'toich hayam b'yabasha, he reads the words literally. He doesn't understand the cover of every Haggadah, that the water just split. He says, B'toich hayam. We went into the water. That means that new water was created. Water had separated, and now there was new water there. Because we were betoch hayam, we were in water, but this water was created in a way that we could breathe and live. And kids were having a good time in the water, breathing like fish. Betoch hayam. A whole new adult education of a literal meaning of the words. Did you know that there was more than, I think it was 600,000 people, yes, males between the ages of 20 and 60 that left Egypt. And Chazal tell us that everyone had 50 donkeys that left with them, to carry all the gold that we left with. You know what that averages, what that comes out to? How many donkeys really left with us? There was only 600,000 men between 20 and 60. What about the older men, the younger children, the women? Over 30 million donkeys left with Klal Yisrael. So you've never heard this story of Yetzias Mitzrayim before. Come to the Pesach Seder like a kindergartner, like a first grader. Let the story speak to you. Hear it for the first time, like it's your first date with the Haggadah. This way, it will really be very impactful. It will be inspiring. Let the word speak to you with a blank, open head. And it will be a very, very exciting, inspirational night. Like you are learning the story of the Yetzias Mitzrayim for the very first time.